Today's video is proudly sponsored by Linode. Linode has been doing cloud computing since 2003, which is actually before Amazon Web Services was even a thing. On Linode's platform, you can get your server up and running in minutes, and they include all the popular distributions such as Debian, Fedora, Ubuntu, and get this, even Arch Linux. And let's be honest, what could be better than a Linux-focused cloud server provider that lets you tell all of your friends, I run Arch? Linode has multiple server plans available to make any app scalable and flexible. You could use it to host a blog, a VPN server, a Minecraft server, and much more. In fact, Linode is the platform of choice to host the entire web presence of Learn Linux TV. In addition, Linode offers 24/7 365 support, regardless of plan size, so you can get help from a live person when you need it. New users can get started right now with $100 towards your new account, and I highly recommend you check them out because Linode is awesome. And now, let's get started with today's video. Flatpaks are awesome. They're one of 3 different types of universal packages, and a universal package in Linux is a special concept around packaging where a developer can create one package, and that one package can be deployed on pretty much any Linux distribution. And in a recent video, I covered universal packages in general to let you guys know what they are and why you might want to consider using them. And in this video, what we're going to do is focus on Flatpak specifically. Flatpaks are available in some distributions out of the box, like Fedora and Pop! OS. So for distributions that do include Flatpak by default, you don't really have to do anything. You could just install a Flatpak. But some distributions, such as Ubuntu, they don't offer Flatpak out of the box, so you'll have to add that yourself. And in this video, what I'm going to do is use Ubuntu as an example. I'm going to show you guys how to set up Flatpak support, and then we'll install a package or two. Now, one question you might have is, why should I install a Flatpak version of something rather than apt install that same package? And the answer is covered in that other video that I mentioned. I go pretty much in depth about universal packages and why they're awesome. But as a short aside, a Flatpak is going to generally give you the option of having a newer version of an application where some non-rolling distributions, they actually lock the version to a specific version, meaning other than security updates, you'll never see a newer version. And a Flatpak is something that you can install to essentially override that and get a newer version of something, like I said, but it puts you in control. You could use Flatpaks or you could ignore them, but they're available. And if the situation comes up where you need a newer version of something, then a Flatpak is a great way to go. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here I have a fresh installation of Ubuntu on my laptop, and I'm ready to begin. I'm going to show you how to set up Flatpak support, so let's get into it. Now, what I'm going to do is use LibreOffice as an example. And currently, it's already installed. So if I open up LibreOffice Writer, for example, we can see that we're up to version 7.1. Now the thing is, this is not the Flatpak version right here. This is just the version that came with Ubuntu. I didn't actually install anything other than the updates to make sure that everything was up to date. As an aside, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and update all the packages on your system if you haven't already done that, but that's always the case. Anyway, we have LibreOffice 7.1 on this machine right now that came with Ubuntu, and LibreOffice itself is now up to version 7.2. As an aside, every time LibreOffice puts out a new release, compatibility for Microsoft Office is improved. So while you could argue that 7.1 isn't actually all that much out of date, and it's not, LibreOffice is one of those applications where I recommend you should probably run the latest and greatest, because again, Microsoft Office compatibility is improved in every release. And in addition, on other distributions such as Debian Stable, for example, you'll probably be on an older version than 7.1. So let's go ahead and fix this. Now the first thing I'm going to do is uninstall LibreOffice. Now you don't have to uninstall LibreOffice. You could actually have the Flatpak version alongside the standard version that comes with your distribution. The only quirk about that is you'll have two application icons for LibreOffice, but I want to make sure that anytime I launch LibreOffice that I'm using the Flatpak version. So what I'm going to do is launch Ubuntu Software, which in your case could be something else like GNOME Software. Essentially just launch whatever your distribution's package manager actually is. And what we're going to do is go to Installed, and then we'll scroll down and find LibreOffice. And as you can see, here it is. I'll just go ahead and remove it. And I'm going to remove each of the other components as well. And now that's done. Now, even though I installed all the updates for Ubuntu, it says that there's 6 updates available right here, which is kind of interesting. But these are just snap packages, so I'm not going to worry about that. Anyway, LibreOffice is now removed, so it's time to go ahead and install the Flatpak version. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is open up a browser. And I'll search for Flatpak. And then here I'm on the flatpak.org website, and the reason why I'm here is because this is where the instructions are. And yes, I am going to walk you through the process, but it's important to note that all the instructions that you need are actually right here on the site. So if I go to Complete List for supported distributions, we have this page right here, and what you'll do is just choose your distribution from this list. Now, some distributions, of course, have Flatpak already installed, but what I'm going to do is install it in Ubuntu, which doesn't actually include Flatpak by default. So since that's what I'm running, I'm going to click on the icon for Ubuntu. And we have all the instructions right here. So essentially what you do is you just go to flatpak.org, and then you go to the Setup section, click on the page for your distribution, and then you just simply follow the instructions. Now we have some instructions here for older versions of Ubuntu. But since I'm running the latest and greatest, I'm not going to worry about that. All we should need to do is copy this command right here, and then I'll open up a terminal. I'll just move it over to another workspace. And then we paste the command right here. Simple. So I'll just press enter to accept the defaults. It's going to install some additional packages to meet the requirements. Standard stuff here. And now Flatpak is in fact installed. And to prove it, we have access to the Flatpak command, as you see here. But there's one more thing that we can consider doing. And if we scroll down, you can see that it's recommending another package. So what I'll do is copy that command. I'll paste it right here. I'll press enter. Next, what we're going to do is add this Flatpak repository, and this is going to give us access to FlatHub, which I'll show you in just a moment. So we're going to add the repository, and I'll put in the password, and that's it. So again, the first package that we installed gives us access to Flatpak in general. The second command gives us a plugin for Ubuntu Software or GNOME Software so that Flatpaks will show up there. And this last command registers FlatHub as a repository to be available so we have somewhere to download packages from. Now here it recommends that we restart our system, which is probably not necessary. Most likely there's a way to not restart the system. But you know what? I'll play along. I'll just go ahead and restart right now, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I've rebooted my system, and now that we're back up and running, let's go ahead and install a Flatpak. Now, here's something that's really interesting about Ubuntu in particular. If I open up the Ubuntu Software Store, and then I search for LibreOffice, and here it is right here. And then if I scroll down, we can see that the version is 7.1, and it's actually from Canonical. So this isn't the Flatpak right here. At the top of the screen, we could drop this down and choose a different source. And here, well, we don't have a Flatpak source available. That's pretty interesting. So I'll close this, and if I open up the app menu here and I search for software, literally, I type the word software, we have GNOME Software proper right here. So if I search again for LibreOffice, and here it is, we can see that LibreOffice is available. And if I scroll down, we can see that the version this time around is 7.2. And the source is FlatHub. So we have GNOME Software proper, and inside GNOME Software, we have Flatpak packages mixed in with the other package results as well. So we can use a single application for installing software from the distributions repositories, and we can use this same piece of software named Software, GNOME Software, to install Flatpaks as well, because Flatpak packages will be among the search results in addition to the other packages. So what I can do then is just scroll up to the top. I'll click Install, and I'll give it a moment to finish. Okay, so the installation of the LibreOffice Flatpak has finished. So if I close out of here, we should find LibreOffice back in the menu. And look at that, here's LibreOffice. And if we check the version, we are up to version 7.2, which is, as of the time I'm recording this, the latest version. And we can also see right here that it is indeed a Flatpak. So we were able to use GNOME Software to install a Flatpak package, which is pretty cool. Now another thing that I want to show you guys is FlatHub. And this is really cool. So if you go to flathub.org, you can browse available packages right here from FlatHub. And this is great because you don't have to sort through GNOME Software to find a Flatpak. On this website right here, all you'll find are Flatpaks, so you'll immediately know what's available. So for example, we have Spotify right here, and I'll click the Install button, and I'll open it with the software install, the default right here. And how cool is that? I found the application on the flathub.org website, I clicked the button, and it automatically opened GNOME Software like you see here, so I can click the Install button, and I should be good to go. And as we can see, the Install button changed to Launch. That should mean it's installed, and sure enough, here it is. And also right here we have a Remove button. So if you want to uninstall a package, that's pretty easy to do. You just simply click on Remove, and it's gone. It's that simple. Now in addition, we can also install packages from the command line as well. So Discord is pretty popular nowadays. So rather than clicking on this button right here, which I could do because that's pretty easy to do, what I can also do is scroll down, and we have the command line option right here to install it via the command line. So I'll just copy this command. Then I'll bring up a terminal, and I can paste the command right here. So it's Flatpak install and then the name of the package. And packages on FlatHub actually have their own naming schemes. So in my opinion, it's easier to search the website. And there's a way to search for packages via the command line as well. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and run this command right here to install this particular Flatpak. And then it's telling me that there's some additional dependencies, and that happens from time to time. I'll just press enter. We also see the permissions right here as well, which is really important to pay attention to. But anyway, Discord should now be installed, and in the applications menu, let's see if it is. And here it is. Here's Discord. So I'll click on it. And there it is. As you can see, it's working just fine. So what I'm going to do right now is give you guys some additional examples of using Flatpak via the command line. So first of all, let's see an example of searching for packages. Maybe you don't have access to a browser or you're already in a terminal. So what you could do is type Flatpak and then search. And then finally, a name of a package or some kind of keyword to identify the package that you're looking for. So for example, I'm going to search for GIMP. We have quite a few examples here, and the font size is quite large. So I'm going to basically lower that and rerun the command. And the one I'm looking for is the one on the top. And it gives us the application ID right here. So what we can do is simply paste that right here. And that's the application ID. And at the beginning, what we'll do is type Flatpak, install, and then the application ID. So it wants to download it from FlatHub. It's asking us if this is okay, and it is. I'll just press enter. And the GIMP Flatpak needs a runtime in order to function, so it's okay to install this. I'll just answer yes by pressing enter. And then I'll confirm again. I'll press enter. And it's installing. And it says that it's done. So in the applications menu, let's see. And there you go. Here's GIMP. So GIMP is installed. It's working. So far, so good. The next command that I'm going to show you guys is Flatpak update. Just like that. And there's nothing to do in my case because, well, I just installed Ubuntu on this laptop today, and I just installed these Flatpaks a few minutes ago during this recording, so there isn't anything for it to update right now. So if I did have Flatpaks on this system that had updates available, then the Flatpak update command would show me a list of the individual Flatpaks that do have updates available and give me an option to get those updated. But again, since I just set it up, there's nothing to update right now, but at the very least, you have the command right here that you can use to update your Flatpaks. Now, before we continue, there is something else that I would like to mention, and that's in regards to permissions. The thing is, you just saw me install a few packages via Flatpak, and it didn't even ask me for a password. And I was able to remove a Flatpak without entering a password as well. So why is that? If you are used to apt install, DNF install, yum install, or something like that, then you're probably accustomed to being asked for your password, your sudo password, root password, or something like that. If you install a Flatpak package as your user, meaning you didn't use sudo or anything like that, then it's installing it here for your user. So another user on your system will not have that Flatpak installed. They will also need to install that Flatpak as well. Now, if you have a bunch of people that are using your computer, and if each one of them were installing the same package, then you could argue that's probably a waste of resources. You can actually install packages under root as well, and that should make it available system-wide, but I don't really recommend that unless you have a specific reason to need to do that. It's probably better just to install it as a normal user. Now, another thing that we can do is run Flatpak list, and just like you would imagine, it gives you a list of the individual packages that you have installed that are Flatpak packages. I've only installed a few, but we have more than a few here. And again, the font size is quite large here, so let me go ahead and drop that down a bit. And we could better see the list right here. So a number of these packages actually have other packages or dependencies available for them as well, and those are going to be installed as required. For example, I have an NVIDIA GPU on this system, so it's going to install this runtime right here, so that way these individual packages can take advantage of my NVIDIA GPU. We also have the Yaru GTK theme, and that's specific to me here on Ubuntu because that's the name of the Ubuntu theme, Yaru. So that's going to help make sure that the packages that I install via Flatpak look right at home with the rest of the packages on the system. We don't want them to stand out, have a different theme or anything like that. This is going to help that not be a problem, but whether or not that's a problem on your end depends on your distribution. But long story made short, we have other prerequisites and we have runtimes and things like that. that will be installed as needed when we install Flatpak packages. And finally, if we want to uninstall a package, we first run flatpak list like I just did, and then we grab the name of the package. And I like to do it like this because sometimes it could be a little difficult to predict the name of a package. And that's why we want to use Flatpak search or Flatpak list if it's already installed. So what I'll do is type Flatpak, uninstall, and then I'll paste in the name of the package. So if I go to the Applications menu, we have GIMP right here. Let's go ahead and remove it. I'll press Enter to accept the default of yes. And it tells me that the uninstallation has been completed. And sure enough, it's gone. So that was pretty easy. Now there's plenty of other variations of the Flatpak command, but there is one that I definitely want to show you guys, and that is this one right here. I will run Flatpak, uninstall, and then -- unused. So I'll press Enter, and it wants to uninstall these two Flatpaks right here. What's going on with that? Well, the thing is, the Flatpak uninstall command, that's what we can use to uninstall a package. But if we give it the -- unused option right here, what that'll do is search the system for any runtimes that aren't being used and give you a chance to clean those up. So if you use apt on a regular basis, I guess you can kind of think of this like the apt auto remove command. It's just going to clean things up a bit. So I'll go ahead and press Enter, and it's going to remove those packages. And now it's done. Anyway, Flatpak is really easy to use, and I just love it a lot. Especially FlatHub, because we can go here and scroll through all of the available packages, and there's quite a few. So for example, we have Firefox, which may not seem like that big of a deal because every distro actually ships with Firefox nowadays. But when you consider that distros like Debian actually ship a very old version of Firefox, the ESR version, which I guess may or may not be old depending on when it came out. But anyway, you have access to the latest and greatest Firefox should you need it. And of course, we have all kinds of things here. So we have some games, and we have different categories here. So you can click Browse Apps, and that's where we get the total list of categories. So under Games, you can see that we have quite a few things here. Developer Tools. There's quite a few things here that you can install. So essentially, if it's a popular application, chances are it's probably available in FlatHub. On my end, I installed quite a few Flatpaks because I really love the technology, and actually it's pretty much become my default. I always have the newest versions of things that I do want the newest version for, and it's just a very good technology overall. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you into Flatpaks, or is it just not your cup of tea? Also, let me know if you have any topic suggestions as well, because I love creating content for you guys. If you like this video, please click that like button, and I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching.